I just turned 24 years old, and since the summer of 2020, I have made just under $1.5 million. And today I'm going to be revealing my entire investment portfolio. And this is some no guru, no BS lying about how much I make. I'm talking about cold hard net worth, where if I sold everything I own, how much money will I actually have left? I am going to break up my investments into three main categories. Number one is stocks and liquid cash. Number two is real estate, where a majority of my money is actually stored. And number three is going to be my private investments and all my random other asset classes. I promise you, I'm not just a daddy's money kid. Ever since 2020, I got into sales, and now I run a $13+ million sales team. And I've been very blessed at a young age to make a lot of money. What a lot of people might think is, with the amount of money I've made since 2020, I should have a larger net worth. But the reality is, what a lot of people don't understand is after taxes, after living a fun lifestyle, which I do, and all the other expenses, you'd be surprised at how much you get to actually keep. And all the gurus online, if they made $1 million, would tell you they're a millionaire. They would tell you they have the Lambos. They would tell you they have these houses. The reality is, if you make $1 million, you're not going to be keeping nearly as much as you think you will. This is the truth of somebody who makes pretty good money and invests at a decently high rate, and how much you actually can stack. I'm not making this video to brag. I promise you, for all the haters out there, take a chill pill for a sec. Genuinely, I love watching these videos. They inspire me. I love seeing what other people are about because it inspires me to go bigger and better. So if you're a hater, the door. But other than that, let's get right into it. So, category number one, stocks and liquid cash. Now, as far as liquid cash goes, I try to keep around $100,000 liquid at all times for emergencies, for living in case something pops up, maybe a good deal pops up. I don't know. I just always try to keep at least $100K cash liquid at all times, just in case I need it. Now, my cash accounts are always ranging in different values because there's a lot of money coming in all the time, but there's also a lot of money leaving all the time, going to different investments or paying mortgages or whatever it is. So my main rule is just try to keep $100K cash at all times. Now, I have a couple different accounts, but I'm going to show you just my main two. In my first cash account, you guys will see I have right around $87,000 in that account. That is like my main account. That's one I've had since high school. It's just my main OG account. And in one of my second cash accounts, you'll see I have just under $45,000 in that account. So those are my main two cash accounts for a total of $137,000 in liquid cash. Not bad, not amazing. Plenty of room for growth though. Next up are my stocks. Now, I'm a little disappointed in this one. Throughout the years, I have had multiple stock portfolios, and I mean multiple, like a lot of them. I'm pretty upset though because I haven't kept one and maintained it and added into it consistently for a very, very long time. I've also taken all my cash out of them to buy real estate, and I just really have not been that amazing as far as investing in stocks go. And that is one of my big goals for this year, is to really stick with one account and invest into it long term and never touch it. I don't care if I need money for a house or for an investment, whatever it is. This account now is strictly designed to be there for when I'm 50 years old and want to retire. It's a little underwhelming, but day one or one day, you got to start somewhere. So as far as stocks go, you will see I have just over $26,000 in this one account. Now, this account is actually brand new, and one of my goals for this account is I'm going to be throwing $25,000 into it every single month, no matter what. That is just a little bit over half of my monthly salary. So as you can tell, I'm trying to throw a lot of money in this account. And right now in this account, I have it set up to auto buy every single day $1,000 worth of stocks. Every day auto buys $500 of SPY, which is an S&P 500 ETF. As of right now, the other $500 goes into VOO every day, which is also an S&P 500 ETF. So every single day in this account, no matter the market's going up, down, sideways, does not matter. This account will buy $1,000 worth of stock every single day. And this is going to be my long-term account that I throw money into. Hopefully by the time I'm 40 or 50, I'm sitting on a pretty good sized bag. Now, if you do some math, on average, the stock market is going to be open around 20 days a month. So that leaves an extra $5,000 a month to invest into my personal picks. I feel like this is a safe way to kind of still have some fun and choose some of my own personal stocks, but also while investing a majority of my money into a lot safer, more boring plays. And I will do an update in a year from now to show you that I actually have been putting 25K into here every single month. I promise. So if we add up my total liquid cash plus my stock portfolio, with those two combined, we are sitting at just under $160,000. Now we go into category number 2, which is real estate. Personally, one of my favorites. Now, I am not a real estate master. I am not a real estate guru, but I do love real estate and I have dabbled quite a bit into it ever since I started to make some decent money. Have I made some mistakes? Yes. Have I lost a lot of money doing it? Yes. Have I made a lot? Yes. That's investing. That's real estate. Now, currently right now, I own 2 properties. My first property I bought about a year and a half ago for $645,000. And in order to buy that property, I did put 25% down, which after all the fees and everything came out to right around $165,000 of equity immediately into the property that I put into it. Now that does not include some furniture and things of that nature, but we're not really going to count that as true equity. Although I'm sure there's a couple $1,000s that I could get there if I sold it. I lived in this property for a little bit and now it is a long-term rental. The reality is in my market in Arizona, it's not really a cash flowing market, but on this property specifically, I do break even to making $100 to $200 a month if I'm lucky, but really it is more of a break even property. And a lot of people might think, why would you put $160,000 into a property that you break even every month in? And I would tell you, you might be right. Welcome to one of my learning lessons. Now, with that being said, I do get equity on the property every month because I have a tenant paying my mortgage for me. Also, the house price has gone up quite a bit, which is immediate equity as well. Plus, the main reason I bought it in the first place was tax purposes, so it ended up working out. That's the beautiful part about real estate. There's a lot of different ways to kind of get your money if you want it. Now, the best part about this house is it has gone up about $30,000 to $40,000 in price just from the market. So there's about another $30,000 to $40,000 worth of equity right there. So that is property number 1, the first house I ever purchased. My second property is my current home. This is the one I currently live in. I bought this just about a year ago. This house I purchased for about $785,000. I also put 25% down on this house, which comes out to right around $195,000. Now, this house is a new build, and so it did not come with a backyard. I put about $30,000 into my backyard to have a nice backyard, which adds a little bit of equity, but the reality is you don't really get all your money back when you put it into a backyard and things of that nature. So to be completely conservative here, we will just call it 200 even. Now, my house is a new build and it's only 1 year old, so it's kind of hard to see the market value. But if I had to guess, it has probably gone up $10,000 to $20,000 of just price, which of course is equity. But for the sake of this video, we won't count it. So considering my down payment on this house and only giving myself $5,000 worth of extra equity out of the $30,000 I put into my backyard, that leaves us with about $200,000 worth of equity in this current home I'm sitting in. So if we do some math with the down payment of around $160,000 plus the $30,000 to $40,000 worth of equity because the price has gone up, plus with the amount of equity I've received in monthly payments from my tenants, I'm sitting on right around $200,000 worth of equity in that first house. And now with this house, with the down payment and the little bit of equity I'm giving myself from the backyard that I put in, plus some of my payments, I'm sitting on right around $200,000 worth of equity in this house as well. My goal is to continue to try to buy one house a year, but the market has been tough right now and rates are not great. And so I've decided to put real estate a little bit more on the back burner and just invest into stocks while I wait for the market to get a little bit better to go buy some more rentals. So far with my stocks and liquid cash and my real estate portfolio, right now I'm sitting on around $530,000 worth of equity, which means essentially if I was to sell everything right now, I would have, after I paid off all my debts and all my mortgages and everything, right around $532,000. Now it's time to go into category number 3, which are my private investments and other random assets or where I have some other money parked. Now I have one private equity-ish investment where I invested into an acai bowl place. And currently right now, I have about $25,000 invested into that. When it comes to those private investments, it's really hard to see what your money is valued at because it's private. It's not traded like a stock is on the public markets. So it's really hard to see what that $25,000 is actually worth now, and I won't ever get that money back until there is an acquisition. Just to be conservative here, we're just going to keep it at $25,000. As far as cars and vehicles go, I used to have 2 cars. I actually just got rid of both of them in order to just have one and simplify my life a little bit. And in my new truck, I probably only have about $10,000 to $15,000 worth of equity. Obviously, a car is not an investment or an asset, but if I was to sell my truck right now, I would get about $10,000 to $15,000 back worth of cash after paying off the loan. We'll call it $15,000 worth of equity in my truck just to make it easy. Now, this next one can be a little controversial, but it's sitting on my wrist. I have one nice watch. I just bought it, made a video about it. I'm not a watch genius. I'm not exactly sure exactly how they work, but I do know for the most part they will hold their value, if not go up. And for my watch collection, which is one watch, I will put a price tag of around $10,000 to $13,000 worth of equity on it. For all my watch haters who might think I'm totally wrong about that, I'm sorry. This is just an estimate. And then as far as some other things go, which are a little bit personal and more private, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I probably have another $5,000 to $15,000 worth of equity in those if I were to sell them, putting us at a total of $68,000 for this category. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not going to count it for the video, but I did not include any of my personal belongings. And I hate to say it, but I like expensive things. My cameras, my equipment, my furniture in my house, my TVs. Realistically, furnishing a house like this is not very cheap, and if I wanted to sell all of that, I could probably add another $15,000 to $30,000 onto that if I was to sell all my personal belongings as well. Now, this gives my entire investment portfolio a grand total of almost $600,000 if I was going to sell everything today. Again, a lot of people might think, well, if you've made $1.5 million since the summer of 2020, how do you not have more? And like I said at the beginning of this video, after taxes, after living expenses of kind of living a nicer, more lavish lifestyle, mixed with my fair share of poor investments, which I and many others have made, and just regular life, you'd be surprised with how much you get to actually keep. Like I said, these gurus will go online, they'll tell you their business did $1 million worth of revenue, and then call themselves a millionaire. That's the internet, that's not real life. Now, although $600,000 is not the craziest net worth or investment portfolio of all time, for a 24-year-old like myself, I am not too upset with it. I feel I have done a very good job investing a decent amount of the money I've made over the past couple years while also having fun with it and living a fun lifestyle, traveling, you know, having a nice car here and there, buying some fun things here and there. I feel like I have done a very healthy balance. There's definitely a lot to improve on because I feel like if I would have invested my money a little bit differently earlier on, I probably would have a lot more of it right now. But no one has a crystal ball. You live and you learn, and that's part of this game. I call it market tuition. I've made my fair share of poor investments, which has cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. But market tuition, I've learned my lesson, and now I know. And so I'm excited for the future. And that is where I'm currently at right now. Looking a little bit into the future, kind of like I told you guys, I'm going to be putting $25,000 into my stock portfolio every month, mixed with buying one rental property a year. Those are kind of my main 2 investing goals right now. And I feel like if I do these well, over the next 5, 10, 15 years, I will be set up to live a very comfortable, exciting, lavish life where my investments will eventually be able to completely set me up for life to be good. So that is kind of my goals for the future. Yeah, again, I didn't make this video to brag. I made it to inspire. I love watching these videos. They inspire me. I love watching people worth millions of dollars, way more than I am, showing me what they do, how they invest. I think it's really fascinating. I think it's really interesting. But mostly, like I said, it's inspiring. And so I hope this inspires some of you guys to go out there and crush it. With that being said, I appreciate it. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you go check out my other videos. Go subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.